単品ですね。かしこまりやした。ビッグマグロバーガー1プリーズ。
戦うつもりはないわ。必ず来なさい。
あざーす。脇へずれて少々お待ちくださいやせ。さすが B 級。期待通り。感謝するぞルシフェル。ようやくこの姿に戻ることができた。
サタン。マオさんなの？
Hello anime lovers, it's Nats from Aninats channel. I'm gonna bring you some cool anime scenes, compilation, and reviews from animes that I personally watched. So, let's get started. In a different world from ours, magic exists and there is a demon lord Satan who rules the darkness side. He wages war to conquer multiple island and continent with his demon army spreading his realm of darkness. However, brave humans soon arose and led the human armies against the dark forces and pushed them back to their stronghold. With one of his general Alciel, Satan faces off against the hero, but admits defeat instead. Along with Alciel he opens up a dimensional portal and leave their world with a vow to return. The portal exists in present-day Japan and in addition to being shocked by their new human forms, Satan and Alciel are taken to the nearest police station by the police on patrol. Here Satan is able to learn a bit about this new world, which lacks of magic. After some time Satan and Alciel able to get new identities as Maou and Ashia. They are able to secure a residence, open a bank account and go job hunting in order to survive in their new world. On one day, on his way to part-time job at McRonald's franchise, Maou counters a beautiful scarlet-haired girl at a crosswalk and offers her his umbrella to shield from the rain. While Maou works, he entrusts Ashia to take care of their domestic needs, as well as research to replenish their magic powers and find a way to return to Ente Isla. Maou able to show dedication at his work, as his fellow co-worker Chiho Sasaki starts to like him. Through his dedication he's able to secure a permanent position. As he excitedly pedals his bicycle home to tell Ashia, he was once again confronted by the scarlet-haired girl who was revealed to be the hero from their dimension, Amelia Justina. In the escape of Satan and Alciel from Ente Isla, Amelia and her comrades decided to give a chase. Back in present-day Japan, Maou tries to reason with Amelia now under the identity Emi Yusa. But she instead pulls a knife out of her bag and attack him. Afterward they both are arrested and brought to a police station for questioning, where the officer in charge mistake them for having a lover's quarrel. On their way home, Emi threatened Maou by letting him know that she knows where he lives. The following day, it is revealed that Emi works at a call center and does a bit of shopping after work. Later that night while feeling angry that she isn't living a better lifestyle than Maou, she pays them a visit. Ashia shocks and locks her out while Emi sobs and begs for them to let her in. Maou casually explained to her their circumstances. After calming down, she explains to him that she along with her priest from Ente Isla were going to follow them through the portal before it disappeared, but she ended up being the only one transported. Maou then explains that he will work his way up the workforce as part-timer, and eventually take over Japan. Emi finds his plan pathetic and she leaves them. Over the next few days, Emi begins stalking Maou and Ashia around town, and learns that they are living good humble lives. She then visits Maou at McRonald's and asks to meet him after work at a crosswalk. Chiho Sasaki then noticing Ami's beauty becomes jealous, and feels relieved after learns that he is living with a male roommate. After work Maou meeting with Emi, and she asks if Maou had ever considered staying in the human world. But Maou explains that he will return to rule Ente Isla. They both soon realize that they are being fired at with magic bullets from a sniper and make to escape. As Maou realizes that they have a common enemy, he asks for temporary truce. Emi shows up again at Mao's apartment, as she awkwardly asked if she could stay the night since she lives a distance away, and lost her wallet while they were escaping. Maou gives her sanctuary while Ashi is shocked. That night Maou received a mysterious text from Chiho, warning him that more earthquakes are on the way. The following morning Emi already leave Maou and Ashiya. Later that day, the national news broadcasts a report mentioning the shooting that Emi and Maou were involved in. Meanwhile, Chiho feel delighted as Maou accept her offer to meet and talk about the earthquake. Emi then received an anonymous call at work from the very same enemy who shot at them the previous night. He explained that destroying both her and Satan would be in Ente Isla best interest. Later the police are able to track down Maou due to his bicycle. He meets again with Emi there. As they leave the station, Emi tells Maou about their common enemy and wants him to be careful since killing him is her job. Afterwards Ashiya buy Maou new clothes for his first date with Chiho. While Maou and Chiho meet up for their date, Ashiya follows them to nearby cafe to make sure nothing happened to Maou. As he watched them, Emi catches him on the act. Emi surprises to see Maou on a date, and enviously with Chiho's cute appearance. She drags Ashiya into the cafe so they can eavesdrop. During the date, Chiho explains to Maou that she had been hearing a strange language lately, and that the people speaking were trying to contact someone and made references that a large earthquake will happen soon. Maou realizes that the phenomena were an interdimensional communication system called Idea Link, and that the earthquakes were most likely caused by a spell trying to detect him and Emi. At this time Maou notices Emi walk into the cafe. As Chiho was about to confess to Maou, she's stopped by Emi. Chiho misunderstands by thinking that Emi is Mao's ex-girlfriend, and they get into a loud argument. Suddenly a large-scale earthquake strikes, and sent the cafe to crumble. When Chiho awakens surrounded by the rubble, she and Emi make up and start a nice conversation. Emi then warns her not to get close to Maou since she doesn't know who he really is. Emi then put a sleep spell to Chiho make her unconscious. With Chiho unconscious, Emi calls out to Satan who appears from some debris in his demonic form with increased amounts of magic. As Emi prepares enough magic to conjure a sword strong enough to kill him, Satan tells her that he will save them. While Satan moves the debris, Emi shocks and wonders why he would want to save them. Satan continues to use his magic to clear the debris and keep everyone in the mall out of harm. After everything settles down, the authorities reported that there were no casualties. Emi then goes into memory flashback when in Ente Isla, young Amelia enjoys her carefree days with her father, and they talk about the village priests who will protect them from the Dark Lord's tyranny. Soon the same priests show up to take Amelia away from her father, and tells her that she is the only one who can defeat the Dark Lord because she is a human-angel hybrid. Amelia remembers that this was the last time she ever saw her father since the Dark Lord's forces destroyed their village and killed him. She then trained to use the holy sword that was to slay the Dark Lord. Back in the presence, Maou reverts to his human form and finds Emi and Chiho unharmed. Maou then informs Emi that Chiho must have caught up with the conversation from someone from Ente Isla using Ideal Link. He further explains that the earthquake was no coincidence since it struck the exact spot they were both at, and that the enemy didn't try again when they got out of the debris because he started to regain his powers. Afterward Emi spent the night at her coworker. She then thinks over again why the Dark Lord Satan, who's supposed to be evil, saved all those people. The next day Emi shows up at Mao's apartment and falls down the stairs. Emi grows upset at the kindness Maou has been showing towards her, claiming that it's out of his character. She further burst into tears and states that her reason for going to kill him is because of his tyranny over the people of Ente Isla, that lead to her father's death. Maou explains that back then he didn't understand people's feelings. Chiho then walks in and misunderstands the scene and runs away with a broken heart. At the same time two of Amelia's comrades from Ente Isla enter through another portal to Japan. While Chiho's sobbing for broken heart, she bumps into a strange person who tells her he will use her envy and despair to surpass Satan. He then manifests black wings flies up. As Maou, Ashiya, and Emi approach from afar, explosion occurs and the winged person takes to the air. They then climb the rubble and Maou acknowledges the person is the demon general Lucifer. Emi asks Lucifer how he survived their previous battle on Ente Isla, and Maou able to deduce that he was aided by a rogue archbishop who reveals himself behind Lucifer. Emi shocks further states that the archbishop, called Alba Meyer, was the one she fought with. Maou already know that Alba is the only one who could have schemed against him and Emi, and that he was going to assume power at Ente Isla after killing them. He also promising to return Lucifer to heaven in exchange for his help. Lucifer then attacked them, causing Ashiya taking a near-fatal hit, causing Maou and Emi to flee. Maou explains that Lucifer draws his magic from people's negative emotions and also responsible for the series of muggings reported in the area. Maou realized this after his own magic returned during the mall collapsed, when the victim's fear fueled his own power. Since he could have regained his magic anytime, Lucifer asked Maou why he didn't throw this new world into chaos. Maou states that he doesn't want to cause trouble for the present world that treated him well. Lucifer uses his magic to attack them with a barrage of magic bullets. Alba also attacks them with a gun and shoot Mao's leg. Maou then teleports them to the front of the crowded street as the crowd looks on them. Before Maou can take his breath, a magic bullet shot him right through his chest. Lucifer then continues on rampage, and destroys the streets and building around. Suddenly, Satan emerges with his demonic form, and saved Emi and Chiho from being crushed. Emi realizes that Maou teleported them into the crowded area on purpose, so he can feed off of everyone's fear and regain his magic. Satan then projects a barrier around the entire city, knocking all the civilians unconscious. Amelia summons her magic and takes to the skies and engages Lucifer in aerial combat. Amelia is saved from a strong attack by Ulciel, also gaining his demonic form, explaining that Satan's magic saved him from death. Satan then saved Chiho from the rubble, and let the debris down gently. Alba begins attacking with lightning magic, but he's defeated by Ulciel. Finally, Satan rises into the air. Having gained enough magic power, he confronted Lucifer, who trembles in fear by the full-powered Satan. Satan then finishes Lucifer with the multi-layered magical punch. Lucifer lost and beaten up by the overpowered Satan, and has to admit defeat. After Satan reverts back to human form Maou, he then gathered with Emi, Ashiya, and Chiho. He then uses his remaining magic to restore the city from the damage caused by the battle. Meanwhile, two of Amelia's comrades arrive to the city. They explain the situation on Ente Isla and ask Amelia to return with them. However, she refuses as she wants to continue to watch Maou in this new world. As the days goes, Maou continues his humble life as a part-time worker. He explained to Chiho that he will not go home, and that makes her so relieved. And that's it for the preview this time. If you're interested in the story, you definitely should watch this entire anime, as Mao's journey will continue in his new world, and there's a lot of exciting things will happen. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. See you soon.